Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here, and this is my review to The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 12, The Key. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I made a reaction video where I am watching the episode, and then at the end of that video I give my thoughts about it, and I generally like this episode. I pretty much love this episode. It's a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 for me. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. If you're interested in seeing that video, I'll put the link in the description so you can check that out. But for those of you that did watch it, you know that I liked the episode. It might be one of my favorite episodes in the whole show. Definitely the best out of the season. But, I mean, I haven't really liked a lot of episodes this season. I liked episode 5, the one with Gabriel and Negan. Episode 10 was okay. What else? Oh, episode 4, that was when Ezekiel lost a bunch of his people. That was a good episode. So there's a few good episodes, but there hasn't been a great episode until now. This was a great episode. I really, really enjoyed it. There were a few problems, there were a few flaws, but overall it was great. But yeah, you know, Rick and Negan's back and forth, the way that Negan found out that Simon had killed the Oceanside people. Just that whole thing, the whole fight between Rick and Negan, and that was like a large portion of the episode. That was maybe half the episode, was just them chasing each other, getting into a fight, chasing each other, getting into a fight, insulting the living shit out of each other, getting into a fight, insulting the shit out of each other, getting into a fight. It was awesome. Because there's just been so much misery, so much pain, misery, and torture inflicted on Rick and his people. You know, Negan was just the king of everything in season 7, and you know, some things have happened to him this season, but you know, as fans, I think people really wanted Negan to really get a taste of his own medicine, and he didn't get that until now. You know, with Rick just pointing out all of Negan's bullshit, Negan finding out that his second in command is unreliable and lied to him, and then Rick burning his bat. That bat had to have been pretty damaged because it was lit on fire for a couple of minutes. And now he's being held at gunpoint by Jadis. Who knows where that's going to go? I really have no idea. I hope we find out next episode and it's not just like something because we really need Negan back into the story if they're going to end all-out war the way it ends in the comics. We really need Negan back with the Saviors. None of this shit happened in the comics. The whole thing of Jadis doesn't even exist. And we're almost at episode 14, so I don't know what they're going to do with that situation. But it was just so great, you know, seeing Rick just verbally tearing Negan to pieces. It's just, you're not saving anyone, you know, and the only thing you care about is this stupid bat, kiss her goodbye, and yeah, you know, just with Rick, I'm kind of glad that we got some of the season 5 Rick back. In season 5, Rick was just like a crazy maniac. He wasn't over the top, he wasn't loud, he was kind of quiet and just kind of a psychopath and just did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. And it was kind of great, it was kind of entertaining. That kind of went away after season 6. In season 6, he was just kind of an asshole, not much of a psychopath, just an asshole. Like, he was sending out Alexandrians to fight walkers when they weren't trained, and he knew that some of the Alexandrians would die, and Morgan got pissed at him about that. And you know, like with Ron's father, he didn't want to bury him, even though like this kid's like 14 years old. Just bury the guy, you know, swallow your pride. And Rick just not listening to Morgan, and he is kind of responsible for Glenn Abraham's death. I'm getting off track here, but I really kind of missed the season 5 psychopath Rick. I mean, that was entertaining. He was an entertaining Rick Grimes, and in season 7, he was broken in the first half. Because remember, episode 8 of season 7, that was when Rick turned around and began to start planning the fight, the war. And then he's had a pretty cool head on his shoulders, and then Carl died, and then he was pretty traumatized. But when Rick is chasing Negan in that car, That is season 5 Rick. That is crazy Rick. That is the Rick that I think a lot of people have been missing for over a couple of years. And it was just great to get him back. And lighting the bat on fire, and then he's just banging everything. He's making noises everywhere because he wants all the walkers to just surround them. And Negan's like, "You're gonna get us killed," and Rick's like, "As long as you die." That was awesome. I love that. Rick was just savage as fuck this season. We haven't had a lot of badass Rick this season. We haven't had a lot of badass Rick in the last couple of years. In this episode, we had a ridiculous amount of badass Rick. Not too much. Not too much. I don't think you can have too much badass Rick, but we did get a ridiculous amount. We did get a very large amount of badass Rick. And Andrew Lincoln just rocked it. Just the way he like dramatically spoke words and everything, it was just great. And Negan was great too. I liked Negan this episode. I genuinely, maybe for the first time, maybe once or twice and that's it, but I genuinely liked Negan this episode. I genuinely liked him. When he's getting chased by Rick, he's like, "Ah, no, shit," like he's about to shit his pants or something. Like it was like Jeffrey Dean Morgan was pretty funny. Some of the things he's done as Negan, I'm not the biggest fan of, and I don't necessarily blame him. I kind of blame the writers. I feel like Negan is a character that you need to do him, like his dialogue needs to be different from the comics. His dialogue worked in the comics because it was in the comics. Some of the things he said in season 7 were just like, what? And then in this season, he had a couple of lines where I just hated them. Like, "My balls are made of steel." Like, what? Who wrote that line? But this episode, I liked him all the way through. Every moment, every line of dialogue. And I know Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a good actor. Sometimes I feel like he's just mishandled. And all he can do is his job. He can't change the dialogue that he's given. He can't change the things that his character does. Sometimes I feel like he was mishandled. In fact, I think he was mishandled a lot. This episode, that was not the case. He was perfect. When Rick's like, "Are you still alive?" And Negan's like a goddamn cat! That was funny. And it's true. Negan is a cat. He absolutely has 9 lives. The plot armor they've given Negan this season was a little ridiculous. I mean, I kind of get it. You need to have Negan almost die a couple of times. But this was like, what, the 3rd time where Rick has a machine gun. Negan is 10 feet away. Rick is shooting at Negan, and the bullets don't hit him. Like, I would have a bullet like graze Negan's side or something. I understand that you have to keep him alive because he survives in the comics, but don't make it so painfully obvious that he has plot armor. You gotta, I think in a situation like that, you should have Negan get wounded or something. I'm kind of hoping that they do the moment in the comics where Rick slashes Negan's throat a little bit and has, well, Dr. Carson's dead. In the comics, it's Dr. Carson that stops the bleeding of Negan's neck and saves him. But maybe Siddiq could do that. I mean, if Rick tells Siddiq to do something, Siddiq's going to do it because his son died for Siddiq. So, plus Siddiq seems like pro-life, so he's not going to want anyone to die, even if it's Negan. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of want Negan to get injured. I want something to happen to Negan so that his plot armor is not so ridiculous. I understand him surviving. It's in the comics, locking him up. We know that Jeffrey Dean Morgan can grow a pretty badass beard. So, yeah, I want to see him with long hair looking like Hagrid. Maybe he doesn't have long hair, but I really want like a big beard because in the comics, once Negan is imprisoned, he has a really big beard. And I've seen Jeffrey Dean Morgan have a really big gray beard. It looks pretty cool. So I hope they do that. There are some upcoming comic Negan things that I actually want them to do. But Negan was pretty good in this episode. The thing with Jadis, I don't know what they're going to do with that. I don't want to take credit for what Ronnie Hayes said. I watched Ronnie Hayes and he mentioned that maybe Jadis is taking Negan to the hilltop so that she can prove her worth. She can be like, look, I captured this guy. I got this guy for you. Now can I join your group? Because I think that Jadis wanted to join Rick's group. After she lost all of her people, she asked Rick to save her. And then Rick said no. I think Jadis might want to join Rick's group. Now, that might not be it. We know that Jadis has she very likely has some kind of connection to the helicopter that we saw early on in this season. And Simon asked her about it, and she avoided the question. And I think that might be why she's still alive. There's something about the helicopter that Jadis knows about. Maybe Jadis is a part of, maybe she's friends with someone that uses the helicopter and goes everywhere. I don't know. That might be what gets Morgan to fear the Walking Dead. I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do with Jadis. My guess is, yeah, she knows something about the helicopter, but maybe she does just take Negan to the hilltop, and the hilltop captures Negan, Rick and everyone. So now they got Negan, but they still have to deal with the Saviors, and they can use Negan as a bargaining chip, but it doesn't go as planned because Simon does not want Negan back. Simon wants Negan to be dead. So Simon might still send his Saviors to fight Rick's people, Maggie's people, Ezekiel's people. I know those three are the three leaders, but Simon could send his Saviors to fight them, even though they have Negan captured. Now, if someone else finds out that Negan's alive, they're going to want Negan to be saved. But if it's just Simon's not going to give a shit. It's not going to stop Simon from fighting them. So maybe Jadis continues to try to redeem herself, and she helps end the fight. She actually helps Rick. Maybe she kills a few Saviors. Maybe she kills Simon. I mean, if she finds out that Negan did not give the order with the Oceanside people, then her beef will probably be with Simon, and I think that's what they're going to do. That's why that Negan is in the car with Jadis. Negan is going to be like, look, I just wanted to kill one of your people. Actually, Negan had an offer that involved no one dying, right? Because that's what Simon said. Simon said, just give me a sincere apology and we will not shoot anyone. We usually shoot one person, but just give me a really sincere apology. I think that was Negan's offer. Just go back to their side and they won't even do the kill one person thing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Simon just made that up or not. So I think that Negan tells Jadis, look, I just wanted you people to work with me. People are a resource. I might have wanted one of you to die and that was it. I did not tell Simon to kill all of your people. That was entirely his fault. And I could see Jadis being like, I don't give a shit. As a leader, you should keep that from happening. You should keep your lieutenants from doing that shit. So it wouldn't really change Jadis's anger, but it would make her focus on killing Simon. She's still going to hate Negan. She's still going to be indifferent towards Negan getting killed. Or maybe that's what makes her okay with him being a bargaining chip when she does take him to the hilltop. But I think that if she finds that out, her primary beef will be with Simon. So maybe she's the one that shoots Simon. You know, I have a very big feeling that Simon will not make it out of this season alive. I'm sad about that, but he's fucked. There's no way he's gonna survive season 8. He's dead. But I could see Jadis. Like I said, Jadis takes Negan to the hilltop. Negan gets captured. They try to use him as a bargaining chip. Simon leads an attack anyway. Jadis helps fight. Maybe she kills a few Sabers, or she tries to kill Simon, or she does kill Simon. And during that, she gets shot. She gets badly injured. Maybe she gets an infected arrow. We know that they're going to do that. So Jadis is dying. She doesn't instantly die, but she's dying. And maybe she has one final scene with Rick where she apologizes for everything. Maybe Rick even forgives her, and she says, look, I know this person that uses this helicopter. They can help you. They can get supplies for you. Rick meets the guy or a girl, or a group of people, and they help each other. And then Morgan tells Rick at the very end of the season, at the last episode, after the big last battle, Morgan tells Rick, look, I'm going to travel and be on my own for a little while and do some soul searching, because I was about to kill Gavin and this kid did it instead, and I went back to being crazy Morgan and being in kill mode. So Rick and Morgan have like one little final dramatic goodbye, and Morgan goes his separate ways. Morgan uses the helicopter, and that's what leads into the premiere of Fear the Walking Dead. Because I'm sure the end of the season is going to be involving Morgan leaving, because they're literally doing the end of season 8 and the premiere of Fear the Walking Dead on the same day. And Morgan's going to be in both episodes. I guarantee it. And like they're putting him on posters and everything. They're doing them. It's the end of season 8 and the beginning of Fear season 4. They're doing those back to back at a movie theater. So yeah, Morgan's going to be a big part of that. Anyway, with the new characters, I don't know what to think of them. They're kind of interesting. The leader, the blonde leader, Georgie, and then the two people with the sunglasses, just really weird. But, you know, maybe they're going to play a part in Season 9. I doubt we're going to see them again this season, because they really need to focus on resolving all-out war. But, yeah, they seem really interesting. So I hope we see more of them. And I kind of like the actress that plays Georgie. I've seen her in a couple of shows. So, you know, they seem cool. We got some nice character development from Maggie and Michonne. Michonne's still holding on to the kind of thing that she had in season 5, where like right after Beth, Bob, Tyrese died, like she was the one that was the most hopeful. She was the one that's like, look, let's keep it together. Let's keep it together. Let's you know, try to meet new people. You know, don't give up. And she kind of went back to that because Carl just died, so it kind of mirrors that a little bit. When main characters die, Michonne tends to be the most like, okay, let's move on, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this good thing, let's do that good thing. So, you know, it was kind of cool to get character development from those two. Enid just went full on Darth Vader, and I actually suspected this. I think I mentioned that in a couple of videos a few weeks ago, how Carl's death would make Enid darker, more violent towards the saviors. You put Enid in a room with 100 saviors, Enid's gonna kill all of them. But yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the episode. I really loved it. I almost 3/4 of the way in, and I did not think I was going to have an episode of this season that I loved, because we hadn't had one yet. Some that I liked, a lot that I disliked, a lot that I was disappointed in. This was the first episode that I loved. So guys, please let me know what you think. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? What parts of it did you like? Just any kind of opinions you feel like sharing, just post them in the comments or message me or whatever you want to do. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. We are at 72 subscribers, guys. 72. That's awesome. This channel is only a little over 3 months old. 72 subscribers. That's almost one per day. That's great, guys. Great job. Thank you for all of you for your support, whether it's watching 10 seconds of a video and never watching me again, or you know, watching every video, or commenting, or subscribing 3 months ago, or subscribing yesterday. I appreciate every last bit, every last drop of support. You guys are the reason that I keep making these videos, so just please keep showing that support. Share my channel with anyone that you think would be interested. Please, if at all possible, help me get to my goal of 250. We're a third of the way there. We're pretty much a third of the way there. We're a third of the way to 250. Please help me get to 250. Really appreciate the support, guys. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'm Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye!